We're live, I'm back, and it's time for another look back at last week and a little peek into what's coming ahead over the next few days. Thought we'd do today's update with Hoytsy and Jubbers in their little house. Now, as you know, we've all been especially worried about Uber this week. He's needed a lot of extra care and attention after that rather worrying scope. It showed that he still isn't clearing the food from his stomach the way that he should be, which is a typical problem with the condition called gastroparesis. But since then, he's been on a really strict diet. He started on some metoclopramide to try and kickstart his stomach function, and he's been having regular PEMF sessions with the HOFMAG system with Molly and Frey, which we're hoping are going to help too. So please do keep everything crossed for him this week. Aside from Uber, the rest of the horses are all doing well, despite the temperatures really plummeting last week. It got so cold that we had to get haylage out to the fields to supplement them, but hopefully that's going to be one of the last bales that we need to put out for the girls to eat in the mud now that their new turnout space is nearly ready. Speaking of that, Tony, David and Mike have been busy all week down there in that area, and we've just 1 week to go before the deadline of the 1st of December. There's still a lot of jobs to do over the coming week. Last week we also had some amazing visitors. We had Mary Maylan, Diane Pell, and then the fabulous Kim Perryman on Saturday for her first ever visit. You're going to see more of Kim in the next vlog, but we honestly were spoiled absolutely rotten last week. Not just us, but the horses as well. What else? Last week, Doubtson and Inna had a trip over to Mel's. Inna was with Hazel, so that was lovely to see, and I had the absolute delight of riding Doubtson for the session. She felt amazing. I don't ride her much these days, but the groundwork really has paid off. Chris was back again too, doing a number of pedicures, and he was really pleased with how Nika's foot is healing. He just wants to give her a couple more weeks before doing any more work on it, just to reduce that heel a little bit. So now, on to this week. We're starting with the final concrete arriving for the front entrance to the barn. We've got more stone coming, so 5 mil to dust. That will be coming this week to finish all the outside areas, and the fencing work is going to be continuing as well. Today, Monday, we've got Lisa and Vince back for a couple of weeks, which is again really lovely. That means that Lisa's laundry operation will be back in full swing, and Vince is already getting started on lots of different jobs around the yard and around the farm. Sadly, we do have to say goodbye to somebody today. So Isis, who you've seen in a couple of the videos, she's been with us for the last 4 months and has been a massive, massive help, both to Tamara with the accommodation and to all of us around on the yard as well. We're going to miss her desperately, but we do hope that she's going to be back again with us next year. We've also got Anne back in with us today, and she's going to be tackling some of our old carriages and getting them all cleaned up and ready to move to the new barn. So that includes my original antique phaeton, which is over 120 years old, the replica Frisian Sace, which, let's be honest, these days is more of a cat bed, and the exercise carriage that Annie has pulled for so many years, and is usually smothered in Christmas fairy lights by this time of year, but not this year. Wednesday is of course a live day, but I'm going to be heading off early with Uber and Nika to Penrith. Uber is going to be having another scope, and Nika is having another tooth out. Sam was really quite happy with how she's healing on the other side, but she's still quidding an awful lot, so it's better to get it sorted sooner rather than later. So I'm not entirely sure what our lives are going to be on Wednesday, but we'll definitely bring you something. Thursday, I'm going to be heading over to Mel's again with a couple of the horses. We've also got Chris back, and you may remember the wonderful Margaret and Steve who came last month. They're going to have another session with Hidda in the Friendship Barn, so he's going to be very happy with that. And as we move closer to Christmas, don't forget we've got the 2026 calendars. They're available on the website, as well as 3 amazing raffles up and running, and the draw for those is going to take place on Saturday. Now, if you hadn't noticed, we've also got a bonus extra raffle thanks to our felting queen Wendy, and honestly the pictures just don't do these felted bags justice. They've arrived here and they are stunning. So we've got the Nancy hats and fingerless gloves, that beautiful beach painting by Claire Davis, and of course these wonderful one-of-a-kind felted bags. Moving back to the girls' turnout, can I thank those of you who bought items off our wish list to help us get the area kitted out. We do still have a few things left, both on the website and the Amazon wish list, including some much needed storage cupboards to help keep it all sort of tidy and organised. And finally, as I mentioned in my last vlog, please do take a moment to check your name on the sponsors boards. They are going to be going to print in the next few days, and I want to make sure that everybody's name is listed correctly and exactly as they want it to be. Right then, let's get on with the week and see what surprises lie ahead of us.